After the United Nations Planar Defense Council's grip on its member nations was secure, Mikhail Abakumov turned his gaze eastward. Japan, still bowed beneath Allied occupation, was rebuilding itself from the ashes of war. The furnaces that had once forged weapons for conquest now birthed engines of science, industry, and reconstruction. Abakumov saw in this ruin a reservoir of untapped power. Despite misgivings, Japan was invited into the council. The American and British delegates consented in silence, not out of charity, but calculation. Japan's potential in advanced research was too great to ignore, as was its long haunted history of wartime anomalies, incidents recorded but never explained, scars that had not faded. For Japan, this was a quiet re-entry onto the world stage, veiled and unannounced. For the Council, it was an infusion of strength that altered its balance of power. In the laboratories funded and hidden beneath the UN PDC, breakthroughs began to arrive in relentless succession. Before Sputnik carved its arc across the space, the Council had already launched 4 satellites, unacknowledged, unseen, unclaimed by any flag. While the world still tangled itself in telegraph wires and clutched at bulky radios, Council operatives carried compact communicators, devices that whispered across continents with ease, decades ahead of their time. And then came the greatest leap of all. After countless trials and bitter failures, researchers and engineers of the main headquarters ACD were finally able to supply global bases with a tool unlike any the world had known, the Hemispheric Observational Lattice System, the HOLS. A vast network, hemispheric in reach, it could trace the faintest tremor of rift activity, detecting fluctuations invisible to human sense and immeasurable by prior science. With it, the Council claimed a new dominion, the dominion of sight into the unseen. They could chart what no map had ever contained, measure what no instrument had dared to capture, and answer incursions not in hours, but in minutes. In the Council's foundries, an alloy was forged, a black blade metal without precedent. It sheared through any substance known to man, and upon impact seared at a constant 1,000 degrees Celsius, as though fire itself were bound within its grain. They named it anathemium, a fusion of earthly ore and matter not of this world, refined in silence, tempered in secrecy. For the operatives of the IRD, it became standard issue, the weapon of last resort when all others failed. But progress came at a price. Even as detection sharpened, even as weaponry advanced, the casualty lists did not shrink. Operatives continued to die in alarming numbers. The entities they faced moved with a swiftness beyond human reflex, struck with inhuman force, endured wounds no man could survive. Some bent the very laws of reality. Others could not be killed at all. The Council's technological miracles bought time, but not safety. Abakumov's leadership had carried the Council to the summit of science, yet for those who bled in the field, the abyss remained as lethal as ever. It was not only the vanguards of the IRD who perished. The containers of the CCD paid in blood as well. When the line faltered and their comrades fell, the last measure was often the same, the activation of the self-detonation device, a desperate act to erase both incursion and self in a single burst of fire. Nor were the laboratories sanctuaries. Exposure to interdimensional objects and substances gnawed at the body and the mind. Radiation burns, organ decay, cancers that spread like fire, grotesque mutations that turned men into unrecognizable husks. These were the wages of the ACD. Their casualty reports rivaled those of the IRD and the CCD, while replacements grew scarce, ever harder to find, harder still to shape. Each year, the AGD scouts returned with fewer names. The more the Council uncovered, the greater the shadows grew.